Nick. Welcome to a Tuesday. It is July 30th of 2024 with the icon, Mike Smith. I'm Dan Ramey. Thank you so much for joining us. And welcome to the show.
I haven't heard that in a month. I almost forgot that was me you were talking about.
I almost brought Mycon back.
Yeah.
And then I thought, no, because that didn't go over too well. It didn't have staying power like an icon should.
Too close to the camera name. Nikon.
Gotcha. I see. By the way, we have no Nikon product in our loft.
Yeah, that's right.
I always get ragged on by some of my photographer brothers because it's like, oh, you use Canon? Sony? Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Get back with me when you get a real camera. That's how it goes.
It works.
Hey, it's a budget we're on here, right? Okay, coming up in a moment, we're going to get you caught up to date with news, things that are happening across the Scioto Valley. Not only that, but also sports and this date in history. But we had a little rumble come through Chillicothe last night, and I'm not talking about a West Side Story type rumble. It is the weather. And let's take a look at what we have here.
Yeah, we had some severe thunderstorm warnings. Highland and Clinton County were under tornado warning for a while last night, but when it got to western Ross County, it's like the Red Sea parting. I mean, that's the way it looked on the radar. It just split in half, and that was the end of it, fortunately. Did get a little bit of rain. We're talking about maybe a lingering shower, but for the most part, we think that things will start to dry off a little bit for today. A high up around 85, but tomorrow and Thursday, a chance of a pop-up shower and warmer, which means more humidity, and a high 90. We had some fantastic days last week with low humidity.
Yeah.
In fact, I think Saturday, even though it was 86, it was Saturday or Sunday, they said the humidity was only 33%. I can live with that, man.
Hey, you're talking to somebody that was inside the whole time and
You
wasn't
had
able to
perfect
get out and
humidity,
enjoy that, you know. And yeah, it's like watching people from the rear view window, you know, and dealing with all that. But we had about a half inch of rain in our rain gauge this morning when I got up.
I didn't check ours.
We did get a little bit of shower activity down in Pike County. Dan Jr. has been kind of envious of my yard. He says, yours is the best looking yard of all of ours down here. Because now he's mowing all three, my father-in-law's place, his place, and my place. And he says, Dad, what's the deal? I mean, I'm like, I live by the road. That's all I can figure.
Yeah.
And I don't
get all that runoff.
Plus, I've always talked how we pipe in sunshine down in Pike County where we live. So that may have something to do with it, too. The sun's not baking everything like it does. But I've seen other people's yards, and it's like you just kind of sense the parchness of you just humidity being sapped out of your body by the surroundings. You know? All right, coming up in a moment, we'll take a look at what's making news. But first, let's tell you about our friends at Haynes Chiropractic. Physical therapy, nutrition, they've been doing it all for me here the last 3 weeks or so. Especially, I was taking some turmeric to help with the pain and everything and all. They've got all that nutritional vitamins and supplements and everything they have there at Haynes Total Healthcare Center. Now, if you want to find out more about what they can do for you, click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website. That's littermedia.com, and it'll take you right to HaynesHealth.com for Haynes Total Healthcare. Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, oh, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Each and every day we take a look at each and every weekday we take a look at what's happening across the Scioto Valley, news-wise, things that are important, the good stuff in our communities. It's beneficial news you can use, and you can find that on our website, littermedia.com. Not only that, but follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on formerly Twitter, LitterX, as well as here on YouTube, which you're watching live, hopefully, with us on YouTube today. Earlier today, we had special guests here.
We did indeed. Ross County Health District continues their back-to-school blitz. This is using their new mobile clinic. And this coming Thursday, they're going to be in Richmonddale. Earlier today, we spoke with Jonna Miller and Emily Barnhart about what the clinic blitz is all about.
So the back-to-school blitz, we have 3 more clinics scheduled. This Thursday, August 1st, will be in Richmonddale, across from their library. And then Thursday, August 15th, we'll be back out in Bainbridge. We are in their Village Green Park that is across from Knisley's Pharmacy. And then Friday, August 16th, we'll be back in Adelphia in front of the United Methodist Church right there on Main Street.
So when you talk about the back-to-school shots, this is just typically what we've always promoted for school, kids going back to school. This is mandatory that they have to have these, correct?
Right, yeah. So all children entering kindergarten are required to have their DTaP, polio, MMR, and varicella vaccines. And now children going into 7th grade are required to have their Tdap and meningitis vaccines. And then those going into their senior year are required to have the second dose of their meningitis vaccines.
And again, counting this Thursday, August 1st, they have 3 more of the back-to-school blitz mobile clinics. The others are the 15th and 16th. For those of you on Litter Media Radio that couldn't see our logo image up there. A sad note to pass along to you, a fellow that was known to many people, not only in just Ross County, but throughout the Scioto Valley. 86-year-old Jack Greenwalt passed away this past Sunday after an extended illness. Jack was probably best known for his years of volunteering with the Green Township Volunteer Fire Department. He was with the Ross County Fire and Rescue Association. Back in 2018, he was given the Mike Strauser Lifetime Achievement Award. I think Jack told me recently that he had been volunteering with the fire department for well over a half a century. He was also a Zane Trace Board of Education member for 24 and a half years and worked at Meade Paper for 43 years. Calling hours for Jack will be at Zane Trace High School Gymnasium. That'll be August the 2nd from 3 to 7 p.m. And then the funeral will be at Hills Funeral Home in Kingston on August the 3rd at 11 a.m. Jack was very well known. If you went to a Zane Trace basketball, football game, and then later Unioto, he was right there on the front row. We certainly pass along our prayers and condolences to his lovely wife, Vi, and all of their family.
And we work closely with his granddaughter, Brittany, who works through Pickaway Ross Career Technology Center. And with the Pickaway Ross adult education relationship we have here, I remember her telling me that one of her cherishable moments was when she graduated high school, walked across, and her grandfather got to give her diploma.
That's right.
That's pretty cool. So thoughts are certainly with them. Floor BWXT down in Portsmouth in the Piketon area. The Joint Economic Development Initiative of Southern Ohio have awarded a $50,000 grant to the Jackson County Economic Development Partnership. The grant will aid in the construction of a spec building and complete construction of a roadway.
U.S. Attorney General's Southern District Office is urging the Chillicothe-Ross County community to attend a meeting Wednesday, August the 28th called United Against Hate. The session will discuss how to identify, report, and prevent acts of hate within the community. The session will be 5:30 to 7 p.m. at the Chillicothe-Ross County Library. That's at 140 South Payne Street in Meeting Room B. This is a result of some unfortunate things that we've seen, signs in different parts of the community that do not in any way, shape, or form bring a positive effect to our community. So this is in response to that.
The African American Community Fund, in partnership with the Foundation for Appalachian Ohio, is accepting grant applications from Black-led and Black-serving nonprofit and public organizations serving Appalachian and Ohio's 32 counties. The 2024 application period for grant funding is open now and closes September 10th of this year.
Our road report is a replay of yesterday's work for resurfacing project on US 50 inside the city of Chillicothe, affecting Western Avenue, Main Street, South Bridge, and Eastern Avenue. One lane of traffic in each direction to be maintained. Most of this work is being done in the evening and overnight hours between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m., and this project is scheduled to go through early this fall.
Our off-the-road report takes us to Pike County, where you will see the school bus derby make its return, and this is pretty awesome. The Pike County Fair School Bus Derby starts at 7 o'clock in the grandstand. Candace Roberts is driving for Pike County. This one here, Wreck-It Renner, that is Jenny Renner. She won it all last year, but the other buses have different drivers. Candace Roberts for Piketon. Pike CTC has Demo Dave Barker. Eastern has Rosie the Riveter. Now, I don't know Rosie's real name. I mean, it may be Rosie for all I know. But Western has Marvelous Marvin Mustard behind the wheel as well. So if you've never been to this, if you missed out on it last year, it was entertaining.
Now, these are actual school bus drivers?
These are actual school bus drivers. And when you see... when you watch the crowd and you hear the responses from everybody, and you watch on Facebook afterwards, everyone congratulating their favorite bus driver, and you start to think, I'm so glad that you're delivering my kids to school, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. Nothing's going to stand in the way of my kid getting to school because of how you drove that bus.
How many people did you say they had in attendance?
They were estimating 4,000 to 5,000 people last year. And I don't know what the normal crowds are for, like, the truck tractor pulls, that kind of stuff. But this was such a hit, they decided to do it again.
Yeah.
So, and if it brings in money, that's what it's all about in the fair, right? There you go. You bet. Ross County Fair is next week, by the way. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get out to either, thanks to my physical condition here of late. But tonight, our Aaron Glandon is on special assignment. He'll be in Piketon tonight. And you going to wear a crash helmet or anything like that? Fire suit and all?
Nope.
Oh, he's going to jump right in and see what happens. Okay.
I'm going to parachute in, actually.
Hey, there you go.
So you can get that aerial shot.
Yes.
That's kind of like the drone without the drone.
Yeah, because I don't have a drone license, so.
Well, maybe you could ride the train, watching because the train always goes by.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, whole deal. Yeah. All right. Coming up in a moment, we'll take a look at what sports has for us today, and there's a lot of baseball news. That and more coming up. But first, let's tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. For nearly 5 decades, they've been taking care of the conditions in your home and in your business. Yeah, I said business. So if you are building a new place, or maybe you have a new structure you need for your business, and you want to have cooling units and all, you better call Accurate. They get it done. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It takes you right to their website, which is accuratehvac.com. And an additional plug, they sell Bryant products, and they will be here tomorrow to talk about it. 9 a.m. tomorrow with a special edition of Litter Media Live.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652. Scioto Valley Dumpsters, give them a call at 740-253-8389 for a dumpster that they will bring to your location, and once you fill it up, they'll haul it all away. It's that simple, that quick, that easy. If you click on this ad where you see it at littermedia.com, it takes you to their Facebook page to get the latest goings-on that they're doing with Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Time for sports, and we're going to start with the big event to kick off the fair next week here in Ross County. It is Showdown at the Fairgrounds. This is huge. And in fact, coming up Wednesday at noon, we will have a special edition of Litter Media Live. Jimmy Hines, a.k.a. Bobby Fulton, is going to stop in to talk more about this event, which is coming up next Monday at the Ross County Fairgrounds. I know they had micro wrestling last year, and that went over pretty well. And this year, they're bringing something very similar to what they do at OUC, which draws a lot of people. So this should be and could be a very big night at the Ross County Fairgrounds. That is this coming Monday.
Lancaster Post 11 is scheduled to play Harrison Post out of Cincinnati for the American Legion State Baseball Championship today. That game was originally scheduled for 9 a.m., but because of rain we've had this morning, it certainly wouldn't be because they didn't have turf, because they do have artificial turf in the infield. But some of those storms were lingering in that part of the state late this morning. So we haven't seen anything that's changed that game time. So keep following our Litter Media X throughout the course of the day. Our buddy Tom Wilson over at the Lancaster Eagle Gazette, if he posts something, we'll get that out to you later today.
I think we have a correction on the script here that we have. The Chillicothe Paints were blasted by the Johnstown Mill Rats last night, 17-2. Fan appreciation night. They were going for the fireworks and everything and having a good time there. But at any rate, they will travel to Champion City. They lost last night, 17-2. Here's your box score, by the way.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Well, this image makes it look like they won.
Well, the official score book, from what I get on my mailing, it says that Johnstown won 17-2. So
we can only blame the Paints media guy for that. We won't throw any names out. He's a good friend of ours.
After 17 runs, you just swipe this one off and just go on to the next.
Really.
But they're back at it again at home tomorrow night. But they are on the road this evening as they travel to Champion City, and they'll take on the Kings tomorrow night here at VA Memorial Stadium. Former Paints and OSU baseball player Dillon Dingler has been called up to the Detroit Tigers, all thanks to a trade at the trade deadline, and that created a position open at the big club. And he played at Ohio State from 2018 to 2020, including spending the 2018 baseball season with the Chillicothe Paints as well. So congratulations to Dillon. He's at the show.
On the big league circuit, the Reds snapped their mini losing streak very impressively. 3 home runs in that ball game last night. T.J. Friedel is back. He had a home run. Will Benson hit one as well. 7-1 the final against the Cubbies. These two teams are battling to get out of the cellar.
I don't know if you saw, but Candelario hit one, and then
it was a tape measure job.
Then the next pitch came and hit in the head Tyler Stevenson,
and
that was not a good situation.
Pitcher for the Cubs was ejected after the umpires conferred, and then the Cubs manager Greg Counsell, he got tossed. I could see that coming.
Yeah,
he stayed out there and chawed for a while, and umpire finally.
Well, and the pitcher that they brought in, they just acquired him in a trade.
Oh boy, yeah.
So
the Reds win last night against the Cubs. They're back at it again tonight in Cincinnati, and over on the junior circuit, the Cleveland Guardians were a winner over the Tigers, 8-4.
And you were talking about trades. What are the Reds going to do? Frankie Montross, as we talked about yesterday, he is headed to Milwaukee for long reliever Jacob Junis and also Joey Weimer and some cash. So they get money from the Milwaukee Brewers. And I don't know if you remember Joey Weimer or not, but he had, in a series against the Reds, he had 3 home runs. He hit 2 home runs one night and then hit one the next night. He's a UC product.
Okay.
So he's happy to be coming to Cincinnati. And he has kind of like that T.J. Friedel appearance about him physically. He's an outfielder. Played a lot of center field against the Reds when we saw him last year. So it'd be neat to see him in a Reds uniform now. And the Guardians traded 3 of their prospects, including their 18th overall and 8th overall and 22nd overall, and another guy. Again, they name these names, but you don't know anything about them because they are far away from reaching the big club. But Lane Thomas, outfielder from the Nationals, goes to the Cleveland Guardians.
Gotcha.
So you have that. And the Olympics continue.
Yeah. They go on and on.
Yes, they do.
I think the American men's gymnastic team
Bronze medal.
medaled for the first time in 16 years.
Yeah.
That was the big headline.
That was. Did you watch any of that? Did you see any of it?
I did. I knew the story. I knew what was going to happen, and my wife didn't, so I spoil alert
But
for
the
her,
pommel horse guy,
yeah,
he's the specialist.
the guy
He's
that wears the
last one to go.
glasses before,
The
and then
nerd.
He's out there looking around like, where am I going?
I mean, this was like made for TV. You know, it was incredible because he wasn't celebrating with them because he was all focused in, had the hood up and his glasses on. And I'm thinking, is this guy even a part of the team? Yeah. And then and he goes to Penn State, I guess.
That's right.
And so he pulls off these glasses and it's like, lead me to the pommel horse.
Yeah.
And then has this fantastic routine. And it was just neat to see that. So congratulations to those guys. All right, coming up in a moment, this date in history, the Litter Media Wayback Machine is dialed up for
1965. Remember, 65 in this next story.
How old are you going to be in November?
65.
That's what I thought.
Which is germane to the story.
Precisely.
Yes. Litter Quality Propane, they're our friends for 92 years of serving propane users in southern and central Ohio. Reliable supply, reliable service, reliable people. We're talking Litter Quality Propane.
Are you looking for a beer that satisfies your thirst and love of country? Armed Forces Brewing Company brews beer for patriots. Celebrate freedom with every sip. Armed Forces Brewing Company. Freedom never tasted so good.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use. Anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our Kingston National Bank mobility app today.
As a basketball coach and a dad, I need to be able to keep up.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc.
I was so confident in Dr. Fleming, he explained everything.
Together, they decided on minimally invasive spinal surgery to relieve Mark's pain and get him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
And now, this date in history.
1965. President Lyndon Johnson signs Medicare. And I just got my card in the mail last week.
Did you?
I can't use it until November, but I've got it. A health insurance program for elderly Americans becomes law. At the bill signing ceremony, and I thought this was the neat part of this story, it took place at the Truman Library in Independence, Missouri, where former President Harry Truman was enrolled as Medicare's first beneficiary and received the first Medicare card. And I guess the neat part of this was it was Truman who first proposed a national health care for seniors some 20 years earlier. But you can't get Medicare unless you have extenuating circumstances until you turn 65, Well, this is 1965 that this goes into effect.
And I'm 61 and fielded a phone call yesterday about Medicare, a sales call.
They'll start on you
yeah,
3 or 4 years ahead of time. Yeah. And now that I'm almost there, I'm getting every day 5 pieces of mail wanting supplemental insurance on top of your Medicare. So
I remember when we first got the first AARP mailing to the house, and Dan Jr. and Missy just were teasing me like crazy over that. And then it wasn't a year later, she started getting them. And now she gets them all the time. And she's like, would you just throw that thing away?
I guess I'm confused on what is now considered senior citizen. Because some establishments honor if you're 55 with special. So I don't know.
55 and the Golden Buckeye card becomes active for you as soon as you turn 60. So you can get benefits from the Golden Buckeye card. I have yet to use it.
I've carried that thing in my wallet, and I've never seen anything that I can use it for that I want.
Yeah,
so.
Well, and I think a lot of things are online anymore. So you have to go and search for that stuff. But it's like, here we were in our 20s and our 30s thinking, Golden Buckeye card, I can't wait until that day. And then that day comes, and
you never use it.
I still remember Rick Swiggett, the late Rick Swiggett, who was a part of Dan and Mike on the radio for a number of years as Joe Wise Guy. And he grayed early in life, and then he had twins. And Daniel and David, Daniel, I think, is the band director at Adina. And so I remember him coming back to the radio station one day just firing mad. This was after lunch. I'm like, what's the deal? What's going on? He says, oh, I'm standing there at the restaurant, and they asked me if I wanted to use the Golden Buckeye discount on the kids' meal for the kid. He was 43 at the time. Oh, funny how things happen. Yeah. That's almost like looking at a female, and you say, I'm sorry, when do you do?
Ooh.
And then that was like the biggest mistake you can make.
I've had to be careful with that.
Yeah, you have to really.
I am not pregnant, sir.
Yes, yes. All right, that's it for today's program. We have a special edition for you tomorrow morning at 9, and that'll be with our friends from Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. And then this regular program and a special edition at noon, we'll be talking about professional wrestling, which will be taking place. That includes autograph signings and more before the wrestling show, which takes place. So more details on that with Jimmy Hines, a.k.a. Bobby Fulton, on tomorrow's program. So for the guy who's reporting on the bus demo derby tonight, Aaron Glandon, I'm Dan Ramey. He's Mike Smith. We'll see you tomorrow on Litter Me.